Hi, I'm Aidan Feeney from Your Subs. Today we've got round the table, we've got ex-Coventry City legends, Dave Bennett, Kirk Stephens, and we've got Callum here from CP Academy, Coaching Academy. We met at the Moat House a couple of weeks ago, about a month ago, and obviously we seen how Callum works his players and his coaching staff. Thought it's fantastic, so we asked him to come in today to tell us a bit more about CP Academy coaching.
No, obviously, like I said previously, before we come on camera, it was a bit of a strange one, really. I wasn't even supposed to turn up on the day, was I?
No.
I come down on one of our elite camps and seeing you guys there, with obviously recording the players and some of the coaches, and we had a conversation. Obviously, I met yourselves properly, and it kind of steamrolled from there, really, wasn't it? It was the vision and the purpose of what we're trying to achieve with the players was really aligned. And
I mean, you've got players that are going out to different academies, different clubs all around the country now, haven't you?
Yeah,
You've been successful in that.
I think from where we're at with CP Coaching Academy, we've integrated this year from under sixes, and then we provide a progressional pathway all the way through to 22, 23 years of age now. And I think the most important thing for us is these elite camps, especially where we met, is to really unearth players that don't really know about the services we provide, and integrate them into a platform and a program which suits them and their needs. And obviously everyone comes from different backgrounds, different budgets, and I feel that's where we're quite as inclusive as we possibly can be, because some players obviously require a lot more support, but it comes at a more financial cost. But we also provide some courses and some programs which are a little bit less on the financial side, but they can still be integrated and experience the level of professionalism and coaching which we have. And
I mean, do you get players in, kids coming in, girls and boys, that you think, you know what, they're great, but they haven't got the funding? I wish we could take them on. Or, I mean, I know you said in the past you help them and give them discounts. And
yeah, I think that's the biggest obstacle which we face as a private organisation. I think we see a lot of talented players come through from around the Coventry area. Obviously, that's where we're based, so that's our hub, and we find that the ones that know they can't be exposed to the services we have will probably just stay away. And that's the saddest thing for us, because when we offer talent IDs, which are free programs and free trial games and free sessions, then we'll probably be inundated. I know we had one about before the start of this season when we were recruiting for our new teams, and we had about 220 players come through the talent ID booking.
Oh, wow.
Across the different age groups.
That's amazing.
From under 8 to all the way through to under 16, and we thought some of these players we've never heard of. They've never been in our programme. They come in, and there's actually one player, I won't name his name on camera because he's under 18, but he scored a hat-trick in that trial day, in the talent ID, and all of us just looked at each other as coaches, and you think, this is why we do this kind of work. We was there from 8 in the morning setting up, and we ended up finishing, I think it was about 3 or 4 o'clock, and for us as coaches, as a private organisation, that's all unpaid work for us, and obviously we rent the pitch and all this kind of stuff. When you see this lad, he's turned up, he's ripped it up in an under 12 trial game that we've put on for players to try and recruit. Anyway, long story short, spoke to his mum, signed him immediately for the team. I said, right, we need to provide this and this for him moving forward over the next 3 to 4 months, and I promise you he'll be in the academy level. She bought into it. The mum actually cried, when I spoke to her, like, it was incredible. Like,
you're changing lives, and
that's why she said, he just wanted an opportunity. He needs this kind of level of guidance. I spoke to her about who I was and my journey and who I'm playing for. And
just to go back, can you tell us a bit about your journey?
Yeah,
how you kind of
we got all day. So I'll keep it brief. I was at Leicester City from a young age. I mean, I grew up in rugby, so I was at Rugby Town, grassroots football, and then I was at Leicester City. My dad was really supportive, really, really supportive. I was really fortunate and grateful for that from a young age.
Yeah,
I had that kind of pathway.
It's good if you've got that support.
You haven't, if you've got that support, because my dad was a policeman. He's retired now.
What age was this though?
I'm saying my dad took me to a camp, like a holiday camp. I was about 5 or 6. That was when I first got into football, and my dad took me and stuff, and obviously I must have been okay.
We talked about that. We saw without the backing of our parents, especially our dads, would we have got when we were? So we had the backing of our parents, and my dad took us everywhere like you. It was a brilliant experience, and he helps us on our journey, and from then on, pretty similar probably.
I think that's the biggest thing, and you'll probably see yourself that was kind of the guidance and the mentor for me, because I had that support from my dad, probably similar to you. And my dad took me straight in, and then Leicester invited me in. I was there from 8 till 10. Ended up getting released from there, and then I was at Northampton then for 8 years, from 10 to 18. But you guys know the commitment. I don't have kids myself, but you look back at it now and you think, well, my dad's up at 5. And then he's coming back from work, and then he's driving straight to Northampton. And then you think, you're training 3-4 days a week, and my dad's driving me every single day to Northampton. What a commitment from him and his aspects. And then there was a player, obviously most people will know, there was a lad called Ivan Toney. So he was at, I actually seen him at the weekend in London. I was going to Wonderland, bumped into him in London. I seen him across the road. I didn't run over because I might got hit by a bus, but I seen him. But he come through. So we was in Northampton together, like under 15s, under 16s, and I feel that we were probably the higher end of it. Like I'm not going to make no bones about it. I was adamant. I thought I was going to get a pro there. I was with the first team every day. I was training well. We'd do little 11v11 games. You know what it is, and when you're playing against an experienced pro, and you think I've got the better of me. I mean, I'm only 5'0" at the time with no muscle and stuff, but I'm thinking I've got half a chance.
Did that kind of knock you back at all? Did anyone say about your size?
I think that was why I originally got released from Leicester. I've always been a small lad anyway, and I think it was kind of that was the realisation. I think for me, I mean. I can't remember how it happened. So I was Adi Bruford was the manager at the time. You probably know him quite well. And at first he liked me at first, and this is part of the mentorship which I try to get people to learn from what I did. And it was crazy. We were training one day, and I was with the first team. It was at Sixfields on the first team pitch, and I was with the first team every day. Me and Ivan was, and we were doing like press ups and then box runs, press ups. And as a kid, you just think, oh, I want to impress, I want to do well, don't you? So I'm not doing it from a place of ego or cheating the system or anything like that. And he was like, you have to do 20 press-ups, box run, back, 20 press-ups. And you just want to impress. So I'm like, I'm not counting my press-ups. I didn't know at the time that he's behind me actually counting mine for me, because he's looking for that, because that's how he is. I don't know if you know him personally, but...
Yeah, I know him because obviously he come to... Coventry.
Yeah.
And he was always liked a bit of skill and a little bit of a over and everything, and was surprising the way he played the game or taught the game, is because he was putting on so many passes to get into the box.
Yeah.
So I think he got promotion with Watford, and then he come to Coventry. So I do know of him. Yeah.
I think that was where it was from him, and he was the first manager that I had which had that real level of discipline. Like. He was counting me from behind. I didn't know. So I've got up thinking, I've probably done 20 now. I'm going to go be at the front. So I look the fittest. I'm starting running off, and say the lines here. I've got to about 5 metres in front of me. He shouted, Callum, how many press-ups did you do? And I'm running off like this, and I've slowed down. I went, 20, like this, I'm running. He said, I'll ask you one more time. How many press-ups did you do? I turned around and I've gone, 20. He went, and I'll put it politely, this is not exactly what he said, get off my pitch now, you will never play for me again. Bearing in mind, I'm 16, 17, first year scholar. And I'm thinking...
Seems harsh,
what
but that's the discipline.
What has just happened?
Yeah.
And generally from that point, he tried to release me from my scholar, because he then had a perception of me that's completely changed. Hard-working young lad with flair, skill, speed, to arrogant, wants to cheat, cut corners... When realistically, that was not what I was trying to do. It was just, I was so eager to be the best. But then that's when you realise...
To outshine everybody.
You can't actually cut corners. Because realistically, if he's counted you and you've not done 20 and you've not made sure you've done 20, you are cutting a corner. And I remember Andy King. Do you know Andy King?
Oh, no,
Leicester.
Yeah, he was... He was at Everton, wasn't he?
Yeah, Andy King. Yeah, he's passed away now.
Yeah, he's passed away now. Great I loved him. And he was kind of that... father figure in that moment, the football at that time, that he really took a liking to me as well. And he kind of stopped that from happening, getting released, because I was only a scholar, I weren't on a pro.
Yeah.
But he was like, you're never going to be with the first team again. I remember coming one day and there's a sheet of everyone who's with the first team and everyone who's training. And I had my name on it again, and I'm like, my eyes are lit up and I'm thinking, oh, I'm back in. So it must have been a few months later. And then turned up, six fields again. They do 11v11, and Eddie Boothroyd's given me the linesman flag. And he just said, you're doing the line. Do you know, I'm thinking...
It must be obviously, there's coaches, so obviously they're top.
Yeah.
And obviously they've come under scrutiny.
Yeah.
And A.D. Boothroyd's probably asked the coaches what you're like.
Yeah.
And everything like that. So he thought, oh, we'll see how you are. Your temperament.
Let's see how he reacts to this kind of situation.
Yeah, yeah.
And obviously, because I am... I mean, I have had a little bit of the attitude was always my problem, my downfall at the time. But it ended up getting a little bit worse. But Andy King looked after me a little bit. Eddie Boothroyd ended up getting the sack anyway, with a few games to go. And Chris Wilder, is he still at Sheffield United now?
Well, he's been there, in and out all the time, isn't he?
Yeah, in and out. He just goes back, doesn't he? But he come in. I think there was about 5 or 6 games left. Ivan Toney had already made his debut, and Chris Wilder come in, and I managed to get back in when Andy King was the temporary manager for about 5-6 games. I was back in with the first team, doing really well, playing well. Chris Wilder come in and said, no, I'm just going to scrap the whole youth team this year. We got to stay up. It was in League One at the time. And he said, we just got to stay up this year. I'm going to scrap the youth team. Didn't even look at me, nothing like that. And he said, I'm going to come watch your County Cup final. It was the last game of the season. I scored 2 that day, and I think we won 3-1 or 3-0. Scored 2, and he didn't even turn up in the end. Which obviously I understand, he probably had a lot on and that kind of stuff, but then my opportunity at Northampton was then gone because of someone's opinion.
Going back to your journey, I mean, we're talking last pod, and we said exactly the same as you. You know, we had rejection of young kids, but we always had the backing of our parents.
Yeah.
You know, for the boots, the kit, and for the lift to and from the football. Whereas we're involved with a lot of kids that don't get that opportunity, where they haven't got the father to take them there or anything.
Yeah.
So this is where we're now underprivileged. We want to get them to the point where we were at, where we're at the club, we can get the kids kitted out and get them to the clubs.
Give them an opportunity.
And have the experience and opportunities that we had. And, you know, as was a second chance with all 3 of us, really.
Yeah.
And we took the second chance, and luckily, you know, we lived the dream.
And like you say there, the biggest thing for all of us is that we had the opportunity in the first place, didn't we? You know,
It's not a case to say sometimes you have the opportunities. It's sometimes rejection can be your opportunity.
It is, 100%. But sometimes if we can't get the players in to give them the opportunity to get rejected, we can't give them that stepping stone.
Well, that's our aim now.
That's exactly, and I feel that similar to you guys, and when we had that conversation, that's why I feel that we aligned straight away in terms of our vision and our process of what we're trying to achieve here, because ultimately we've all been through bad rejections, adversity and setbacks, but ultimately we were there in the first place to have that and be hit at and shot down, whereas some players here they can't even get through the door because, like you said there, unfortunately the way the world at the moment is, if you don't have that mentorship or that guidance or a father figure or mother figure or someone who's going to drive you at least, or even provide you boots or the training, because we're actually in a world now where you know yourself that it wasn't around when I was younger. Do you know all these private football organisations like CP Coaching Academy? That is now the norm. You know, if you're not doing your additional work and your one-to-ones and your technical groups, you're actually well behind the pack. That wasn't a thing when I was younger.
Yeah.
It was your academy training and school football. I didn't go one-to-one training.
I can believe that professional all you guys were with your tactics and your coach and everything. I thought it was amazing.
I think, like you say, in our day, it weren't like that. But today, I think some of it is too much football for the young kids. We know technically some of them are very, very good from 6 going up to 6. But I want them to see them enjoy their youth at the same time. Because I think if they're good enough 6, 7, 8, 10, 13, they'll be good enough then. But because you've got other diversions and everything like that, and you want to take that away, and some of it sometimes is too much football, because parents probably live their football lives through their
Through the kids, yeah.
I do.
So-
And if you are in the correct shop window now, and that, like CP does that as well, and if you can enter this bubble here, CP, for example, and you're going off to play Wolves, Coventry City, Leicester City, Northampton Town in these showcase games, all of a sudden that's your window, isn't it? Yeah. But you can get through that window by being part of the private organisation. So there's a lot of opportunity if you can get into here, but that's not the concern for us. Mm-hmm. You know, the concern is this bubble of players.
How many people we missing?
How many are slipping the net?
Or Bennos
and you know as well, and a conversation which I'm really keen and enjoy talking about is the mindset of these players compared to these players. You know, the players like ourselves are formulated through confidence and perseverance and resilience because of the setbacks we've had. Well, it's took us to be rejected from a good upbringing with well support to actually build that. So it's taken us probably a bit longer. Well, there's players that, for them, their rejection is, I'm just going to be brutally honest, is they can't afford to play for a team. They can't afford sometimes to have dinner every night, for example. Do you know, like, so for that's their setback, that's their rejection. They're built differently at a different age.
But also, it's mentally, it's like you say, you've got the other side of it, where you've got some players who have everything and don't want it. And it's all about discipline, and which is the likes of us here know about that, because we can see that in certain kids when they grow up and how their attitudes are. And this is about not just because of their talent, it's about everything else. We're trying to get the old bubble, because sometimes you get players who maybe 10 just grow a little bit, and then you see little things coming up. They're getting a little bit stronger. They're getting decided to listen to you. They're turning up on time, because you get some kids who are less disciplined, and you think, oh, you might have caught your eye a little bit, and this is what it's all about. Because sometimes, like I said before, we get rejected, and you get that second chance, and you think, I'm not going to let it pass me by.
I still think our objective is to getting the kids to have that chance.
Yeah.
You know, it's great when they've got the opportunity to do what you're doing. Obviously, the coaching that kids get down at Motows. But we want them to get that opportunity and be able to afford that opportunity and not be turned away because of finances.
That's why we'd like to offer some sponsorship to CP Coaching Academy to get those kids onto the next level, to give them an opportunity to and that's why, I mean, I know we've talked about it before, but it's exciting for us, because we want to kind of take those people and give them the opportunity to the next level.
To see little Tommy come from nowhere, you know, he's had a real hard upbringing. Things are different. What trees? Yes, I keep forgetting. We got the girls as well. Yeah, so to bring one of them through and see them come from nothing and probably go through your academy and then with a club, that would be our that's our aim, that's our objective. I think like to get the kids through.
You've hit the nail on the head with it. As Ekin ago, and obviously the audience and whoever's watching wouldn't understand the conversations that we've been around to formulate this level of partnership, but I think that is a clear objective, isn't it, for us, that what players can we further support that we can't already. And I think that's going to make it more inclusive, not just for the city, but people in general. You know, if we can, and with your support, if we can offer players the support system which they couldn't get beforehand, then we're going to provide, obviously, probably a better pathway for more people. And I think that it enrolls into everything you've already said so far, that the people that probably struggle or have that adversity from a younger age in different aspects of their life, they're the ones that appreciate that more, because someone who has been given everything and gifted everything, all the training in the world, sometimes they naturally don't have that hunger, because it's gifted to them. And that's where I can see, because I'm working with thousands of players every single month, like individually and collectively, and you see sometimes, like you touched on it a second ago, is that sometimes you see something in someone, don't you, and you think, that reminds me of me when I'm really locked in, you know.
Yeah, well, you've hit the nail on the head. It's because we've got 3 players here who've made it in different ways. Myself, with a lot of adversity because of being black, and in the capital, in the sense that I was playing with proper pros, and I had to be accepted. Not only just being good enough, but had to be accepted because there weren't many black players around.
So you have to go above
Up and above that.
the kind of norm.
And then you come to yourself and the way you had to go about it. And then you got Kirk, who probably was playing Saturday and Sunday League, and he got his opportunity and he thought, well, I want to take this.
Failure was my inspiration.
Yeah, I'm the same.
At Coventry until I was from the age of 8, like you were, until probably I was 14, and they told me I weren't good enough. So I went away, and that inspired me to believe that I can be better than what I am, and prove that I want to make the foot as a footballer.
Yeah.
Unluckily enough, the right people see me. I had a good game at the right time, and was taken on from there. And it's
That's what it's about, though, isn't it? The right place at the right time. But can we provide more of them right places for people to come in? And I think, like you said there, I think I'm a product of the environment I've created at CP. We're 8-9 years deep now into the project we're trying to create. It's not just about a football organisation for us. It's a well-rounded package that I'm personally mentoring and doing private sessions with these players. Yes, it's for football, but really it's about life coaching for us. Because
it really is, isn't it?
I'm really trying to home down, and the players that work with me, I mean, I'm seeing incredible results. I've been doing these private sessions individually since I come back from the pro game about January, February. And some of these players now, like, because they're in and around me, and I've been there, I've done it, I know what it takes to go up and then come back down and work the way up. And the only way you can do that is by pure relentless perseverance, dedication. And like anyone who knows me thinks outside of the even within coaching probably, but I am crazy. Like even yesterday, I've trained 4 times yesterday, like because we had the day off from football.
Yeah.
So in and around my day with admin meetings and coaching as well, I'm in the gym first thing in the morning, the afternoon. I've then gone back, done a running session, then I've done a mobility and recovery session in the spa, and people think that's 5 hours of my day that I'll put into it, which most people will just not do, and ultimately, like, it's raining, it's wet, it's cold, I finish coaching, I'm straight back to the gym, and you're 29 years of age, Cal, you're now playing non-league. Well, the reason why I'm doing this now is because currently I was injured for 9 months, so I've come back doing all right, and now I'm not, so for me, from my perspective, and like, I want to be the best player on the pitch every single week, and if I'm not going to be that player, then I need to make sure I'm doing something about it to get there. And that's just a mentality that's now ingrained in me, that I need to make sure I'm doing everything I possibly can, even if it kills me, and when I was injured with my leg break and I was out for 9 months recently, I come back 2 months ago, like I'm in the gym 3 times a day, every single day, and my friends are coming in to train with me, even though I've got a boot on, and they're like, you are not wired right, and I'm like, well, no, I'm not wired right, but this is why I've gone on. Like, I might not be the most gifted player in the world. I mean, I can do a lot of good stuff, of course, but in terms of gifted, I'm talking your Jude Bellinghams, I'm talking, even if you say like what, I'm talking all these Premier League players, they're a different level. But what I'm trying to say, if I can do it and have a career in a pro game of playing for some good teams like Southend, Wrexham, Northampton, Leicester, for us, like playing for these clubs and having a career and earning good money at the game, if we're doing something you love to do, there's no reason why anyone else can't. And I think that's the mentorship, that if we can get someone who can't get into that bubble, into the bubble, and provide that level of not just football coaching, the mentorship which we provide, we're giving you an opportunity, because it might just not be football.
Yeah, but at the same time, we're opening doors, but we wanted to keep them doors open. It's like we're putting on a session. You might see that guy come back and do extra, shoot it, and you think, oh, that's good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, we've got to nurture that in a way that you probably have to play good cop, bad cop, and say, come on, well done. And the other guy, which we've got experience to say that and do that, because you see that guy doing extra, you think, is he? Yeah, go on. And you look out for that guy, and you see if the other guys are learning from that, and the discipline, they learn from that, and what they get off you, and you probably say, well done. You might pick him. He might be a leader. He might be not as talented as everybody else, but he might have that little bit of grounding and say, I want to win. Yeah. And that's where you think, well, can you nurture that in such a way that you get the best out of him, and can he pass it on to the others?
You see that, don't you, when they do these interviews or stuff with the coaches who around all the top players, and they say, I listened to one the other day, they're saying about Harry Kane wasn't top of the class, mid-term. Jordan Henderson, bottom of the class. But one thing that these guys had is that kind of mentality to be like, I'm just going to be the hardest worker here, because there's a misconception these days where people think that the person that's going above and beyond is busy, or they're the ones that are trying too hard. But that, I don't like that perception of people. If they're trying too hard, it's because they want the best for themselves, if they're doing it for the right reason. So that's what we try to encourage. And it happened literally the other night, exactly what you just said. I mean, I think it was Monday. It was Monday night, yeah. So our pitch bookings at Moathouse, we finished our one-to-ones at 8 o'clock. There's a lad, it's pouring down with rain, it's torrential. The weather was horrendous on Monday. And there's this lad here, he's an under 14 lad. I've sent him into Coventry and Wolves in the last 5 months. He got rejected from both. He hadn't done a private session Monday. He did one Tuesday with me last night. Monday, he's turned up because he knows that we finish our pitch bookings at 8. No one on after us. In the pouring rain, he's doing pitch runs.
Wow.
And you think... And I spoke to you about this. Remember when we did the interview on the day, and I said where he's come from. He's an international player. He's come over. At first, he didn't have a passport. And you think for me, he's the one that I look at and think, everyone thinks, because he's a good player, that's why you like him and he's skillful and trick. No, I'm not interested in that side of it. I like what he resembles and what he represents at this moment of time. It's his attitude, which is different. And I see something in him which I don't see in a lot of other players. Mm-hmm. Do you know, like that commitment to... Even he said to me, I mean, we're doing a gym session yesterday, working on his power and stuff, and he said to me, "You reckon 3 months' time I'll be ready for Coventry again?" You know, like that level. They already said no to him once. Yeah. You know, like, okay. And
he's got the determination to keep going, never give up.
And all I can turn around and say to him is, we'll be ready if you keep working the way you are. Mm. You know, because for us it's a joint effort. It's that mentorship. Like you will be ready if you keep going the way you're going, and whether that will be in 3 months or in 10 years. Because bearing in mind you're only 14. Yeah. I didn't make I went pro at 21 to Wrexham, but then when I went back down, it took me to 25 to go pro again.
When did you go pro, Dave?
I was at 17, I went pro.
17?
17.
Who was that with?
Manchester City. Yeah. But I was on trial at the time, and had a game, and in the trial game I scored an hat-trick. So
who was manager then?
Tony Buck. And,
Tony Buck,
and then Malcolm Allison, late Bill Taylor. But they gave me a year's pro and see how it went.
Did you play under Malcolm Allison?
Yeah.
Because he was a bit of a flamboyant character.
But I had pros, Asa Hartford, Dennis Stewart, Joe Colligan, things like that. You're playing against them and you're learning off them at the same time. So you've got to say yes sir, no sir, your manners and everything there. Obviously, it's a little bit different now. But them days, it was. You got to watch But you still had to show your ability in more ways than one. But they wanted to know what your character was like. Mm-hmm. How your makeup and like when I'm getting kicked, if I retaliated, how I retaliated, how I looked about myself, etc., etc. Looking for little things and details, and the coaches were talking all the time, which they do. Mm-hmm. And after a year, I did really well and got another 2 years after that, and you knuckled down.
And you went to Wembley with Man City.
Yeah, went to.
Was that FA Cup or?
FA Cup, yeah. We just did a podcast there, because like now there's many black guys who are playing in the game now. Mm-hmm. I was the first black guy to represent Man City at Wembley, and we just had Black History Month, which is a great level for me, because everyone says it's about Black History Month. No, Black history is from the time from going back from Pelé, etc., etc. And it's good for these black players who come over to know their history, know where we come from, to know where we're going and what we want to do. And it's brilliant for me, because my brother also was at Man City, and he went on to play for Sunderland. So it's nice to see that if people are learning, I think I'm a good example to learn from.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of your story there straight away, it goes to show that what is achievable, really, isn't it? Because back then, like you said, if you're the first black player to play at Wembley for Man City, you know, back then the stigma was, as a black player, you couldn't play that on that stage.
Yeah.
And then you re-identify that kind of perception, don't you? You change that and you challenge it, and that's what it's about.
There's a lot of prejudice. I mean, there's prejudice now, but there's a lot of prejudice.
Yeah, there's a lot of prejudice. You get it, and sometimes you it's how you handle it. And I had to learn how to handle it, how to take it. And sometimes there's jokes, and you've got to, take that.
How did you handle it? How did you find that you put yourself on that pedestal and took it?
Well, there was another player they called Roger Powell, who was another black guy. So probably because there was another one there you could probably talk to and things like that. Plus I had good parenting and they just come over from the Windrush. So I was in the black community. So it was very difficult in the sense that the word got around that I was at Manchester City and you used to get little jokes and I would want to show them that,
Yeah.
But my mum and dad will keep my feet on the ground by saying, leave them down.
Yeah.
They were quite strict with me in that sense. So, but you had to make sure you carry yourself well, dress well, and look and things like that, look the part. And then when you went and played, obviously other players intimidated me in the sense that call your names and things like this. And then you had to look about yourself on the pitch. And
you're talking on the pitch by going past them.
Yeah, but also you've got to remember, I'm still training. I'm still in my first year, professional career, and there's still other players who want to make it. So they want to kick you, and they want to call you names, and they want your position because it's dog eat dog sort of thing, So you've got to be able to handle yourself, and it was probably a little bit of that discipline. Coaches seeing parts of your makeup that helped you get through it.
Because you handled it well.
Yeah, you handled it well. So it was obviously a difficult times. So I went to certain grounds where the first thing, even when I warmed up, I was getting all kinds calling in.
Did it affect you?
It weren't nice. It wasn't nice, but at the same time, as you play each game, it made you more determined.
Yeah.
And then you learnt how to combat it and how to answer it. And I have a joke where I learnt at the time, there used to be a comedian called Jim Davison, and he used to have an alter ego called Chalky.
Oh, I remember that, yeah.
And he used to always speak with his Jamaican accent, trying to broken Jamaican accent. And we used to run a joke, and obviously playing against some centre-halves who were the biggest, who want to kick 10 kinds of, out of me. And he used to call all kinds of names. Some of them used to apologise. I must hold my hands up. But some of them used to intimidate you.
Just put you in the game, and after the game you shake hands.
Some of them. But you always used to see that scuffle down the tunnel, didn't you? Because you used to have to run after them and let them know you're there. Because if you didn't, they kept calling at you.
Yeah.
They kept calling at you. They kept kicking you. So going back to this, Jim Davison had a guy called Chalky. So they used to call me all kinds of names and everything, and I used to tell her, I said, don't worry about it. Probably Chalky's around there talking to your wife. So I used to get called even more then. But I knew I'd won the argument because you could hear him coming from behind, So I knew I already won the argument. So things like that, you learnt how to control yourself and how to...
So obviously there's discipline, there's control. You're saying that with CP Coaching Academy. You've said that all the way through, discipline coaching. What would be your message to these people, these young kids that want to get in? Come to CP, see you at the Moat House?
I think the biggest one for us now is how fast and how soon can you get into the different platforms and programs we offer. I think by being partnered with yourself and the incentives and programs we're going to make more inclusive for these players, if just try to be aware of it. Look through our social media platforms, and whatever you can get into, a talent ID, a one-to-one mentorship session, an EDC group, an elite camp, whatever that is, to get your face in the door, to showcase yourself to me, my coaching team, and we're confident we can provide.
So is
something
it like
for them.
there's routes from your website?
Yeah.
To...
So literally social media, Facebook, Instagram, CP Coaching Academy. Obviously website as well. Just Google CP Coaching Academy. There's booking forms. There's contact. Obviously you can message directly. Just get in touch with us, and we'll provide the best program available that can get them in the shop in the shop window. You know?
Yeah, that's great.
So, like, talking about what you do, CP, how far does that spread over Warwickshire or what?
So we actually have it's crazy, you know, and this is the way of the world at the moment, you know, like how social media is that powerful. We've got a lad over at the moment from Singapore who's come over for 2.5 months, you know, because he's seen our brand and what we're doing on social media. He come over in January, just for like a week, I think it was. Did 2 or 3 sessions with myself, and then his parents have booked him back in. Like, he's here now. He's been here for a month. He leaves at the end of December. So, like, in terms of that, we're getting international players. We've got 2 from Tanzania. We've got a lad coming from Australia next week. It's crazy, but in terms of where we operate, what we're trying to do is, I feel that our message, our platform is so unique, so superior in terms of it's not just the football. It's you've got people. I only employ current footballers, you know, that have been there, done that, got a story, and know what it takes to get there. People like that are mentoring these young players. It's not just about being the best football coaches, because I'm confident we are extremely good young coaches, but it's more about the story. Well, you're coming to us for a session, we can divert you away from a path you may be going on, because we've been there and experienced it between us, you know, and we can provide you with the correct tools and factors, like you said there, the discipline, the motivation, the hunger, the small things which are free to get you and be the best version of yourself all the time. Because go back to your question, I'm always waffling for too long, but we're based in Coventry at the moment, and our hub is at Moathouse Leisure Centre. So we operate from there from 9 in the morning until 8 or 9.
I was just thinking, like what we're trying to do. Some of them might not be able to afford or get a lift over to you.
Yeah.
And we might be missing out on that talent.
What's the long-term vision to actually get CP academies all over the UK?
I think so for us, and with where I've been so locked in on what we're trying to achieve in Coventry, I literally had the conversation we've spoke about. I spoke to some of my senior coaches as well, and I said, right, we need to get this elsewhere. So the platform for us of what we want to do in 2026 is Dubai. So we want to go international with it. Well, yeah. We spoke about that before, because it's not only what people think is obviously it's a lovely country, it's really nice, and you're giving them more kids over there, them kind of opportunities. But what about the guys that come through our scholarship program? So like we spoke about it before, they didn't necessarily have the funds to do the one-to-ones or the groups or the teams, but the scholarship program's fully funded by the government, so it's free essentially. Well, I've got coaches that have come through there that are training full-time, doing gym, and provided a qualification through CP Coaching Academy, took an interest into coaching, have really elevated and done really well within their coaching. I provided them with their coaching qualifications, that now they work as full-time coaches at CP Coaching Academy, and now they could be next year living or working in Dubai. I mean, that is a far-fetched dream for them.
Okay. So you've got a two-pronged attack. You've got your bringing the kids on, and you've got your coaches that, you know, can get a career out of it and stay in football.
That's the biggest thing for us. Like, the progressional pathway, I know is 0.02% of players make it as a professional footballer. It doesn't mean to say you can't have a career in the game. You know, like even if you look at the finances in football now, playing non-league can provide you with an extremely good income. You know, and you could be part-time and you could have a career in the game. But what I'm trying to say is, off the back of it, is that we can provide them with the coaching opportunities if that didn't work, or as well as non-league, play as high as you can and keep trying to kick on, because you never know what break might happen. Yeah. And then you're also earning and being provided with coaching, because when football finishes at 35, 36, well, what's next? Well, for us, we're already setting you up for that. And like you said there, the quicker we can expand and go into local areas. We'll probably push into the Leamington areas and the Birmingham areas next, and then keep progressing. If people can be in tune and come into our programs, the faster we're going to be able to elevate and mentor them and expand even further again all the time. Yeah.
But like you said, there's no point to make it. What about the ones who don't make it?
Yeah.
So we will, provide for them for during life, after, or during, still in that element of saying, well, can I make it? But could we do know that some of them are not going to make it?
Yeah, of course.
Or for unknown reasons, maybe
if they've
because
got
of injury, etc., and maybe that, being totally honest, some of them might not be good.
Yeah, yeah.
I think our objective is to give them that opportunity.
Yeah.
If we give them the opportunities,
Well,
we've given them before, and they fail because of their own commitments or non-commitments, then we can't do a lot about that. But if we can give them the opportunity, steer them in the right direction, and see yourselves, and then it's up to the lads then.
Yeah, but I like to think that we still have a say in what they do afterwards. Cause
Yeah, of course.
we don't like to see some, because we do know that some of them do not make it and some of them take it out.
But
I think that's the uniqueness of what we provided, or isn't it? Because we
mentoring can you
shape
don't make it at football. You're shaping them. That can give them like opportunity and the confidence to go out into business or in a job, or get the discipline, get there early, shine in front of the boss, or whatever. What you're doing now is foundations for.
And I think that
life.
that is the biggest thing. And I always reiterate, and I've said it 2-3 times already just in this conversation, that it's not just about being a pro footballer. We're giving you the platform to unearth your talent and see how far we can push you in that direction. But as part of the mentorship and training packages we provide, it's like the well-rounded version of it. So we're trying to make you the best version of yourself possible. And that's as a footballer technically, that's as a person psychologically, and that's with all the factors in between and around it. Because like you said there, if the football doesn't work, we've given you the tools and the platform and the factors to kick on in whatever you choose to do afterwards, and that means that if you are rejected or you face adversity, you can handle that better. If you choose to go down this route, well, you need to apply yourself and give it everything you possibly can. And then if football doesn't work or it doesn't work, we've also got that pathway with the coaching opportunities.
Which the perfect example is Kirk Stephens.
Yeah.
And he's got tarmac in.
Oh, yeah, business.
I didn't know badly if you knew.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll wrap it up now. Thanks for coming in, guys. Thanks for coming in, Callum. Like I said, if you want opportunity, get in touch with CP Academy, speak to Callum or the guys, and let's make it happen.
Thanks a lot for
Thanks for coming in.
Cheers.
Thanks, guys.
Pleasure.
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thanks, Callum.
Thank you.
We'll
Good talking to
we'll do it again because I could talk all day about this.
I
It's
could
just,
talk all day.
yeah. No, you can.
I'm a waffler.